So, Jade Bird, how are you?
I'm great, yeah, I'm really good. It's good to be here.
Yeah, brilliant performance. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
I saw you supporting Jake Bugg at the Amira.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
that was a great gig. He's really great. I mean, I loved him when I was quite young when he blew up. So it was great to support him. He's very talented.
yeah, great. I've been listening to your album. I've got to say, it is my favourite album of this year.
Oh,
I know we're only
you.
a couple of months in, but it's a fantastic album. And what I'm interested in is you're a songwriter.
Yeah.
You're a fantastic singer.
Thank you.
But I just want to know, how was it kind of exposing yourself in a kind of, you're very vulnerable in this, I feel.
Yeah, I think strength comes from vulnerability. I fully believe that, and I think my album is kind of, it just completely shows that. The first thing it starts with is Ruins, which is basically debating on, how everything's perfect one minute, everything's not the sense, and having no sense of identity, not quite knowing who you are, and I think that's fine. And I think if you put it in a song, it actually makes you stronger in the end than if you didn't. I really believe in honesty. I really believe that makes you a good human being and a better human being. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm obsessed with my motto.
Oh, really?
It's a fantastic song. It's fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
kind of feel like, I don't know whether you would agree, but from listening, it feels like a song to yourself, sort of reflecting back and being like, you should listen to yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. It's about mistakes or expecting someone to be something that they can't quite fulfill, and that's very much a disappointment. And I think everyone goes through that sense. It's the most personal song on the record, I'd say, that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's fantastic. I love it. Your singing style,
Yes,
you're very shouty,
I am very shouty. Yeah.
but it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I love it. When did you realise that you could do that?
The shouty thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just grew more confident, and I was listening to a lot of blues singers. So when I moved to London at 16, I played in this blues bar called, Number 4 Ferdinand Street, which is Lyric and Lottery, and it's a spiritual bar in Camden. So I watched all these burly men sing with big gruffly voices, and I was like, I want to be heard on a Saturday night. I want to be heard on a Sunday night too.
Yeah.
So I kind of just started singing with more grit. And just practiced and sung covers, like Sun House cover, and it just stretched me. It made the voice stronger.
There is a level of aggression
Yeah.
in that. Does that help with the?
I'm not a calm human being. A lot of the time, not 90% of the time. I'm calm usually, but yeah, I have a lot of anger, as I think a lot of young women do in certain situations, and especially around this age when you figure out how you're treated on the norm. You know what I mean? In certain places.
Yeah.
So yeah, that fuels that aggression, which I love music with pure aggression in it. I'm really inspired by the Riot Girl movement and all that going on. Yeah.
Pete Townsend of The Who was asked the other day about this kind of revolution of women in film and cinema and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's always been strong women in music, but do you think there needs to be something more?
You look at the charts now, that doesn't seem to say that, and that's disappointing. And so I think, it's hard to work out what the answer is, but, it's like alternative radio in the States. They don't play nearly enough women, and that's a known fact. That's very common knowledge. And so there's still things in society that limits women in their music, and that's wrong. So I think it takes people to kind of get up and do what all them strong women in the past did.
Yes.
They didn't really care, like Joan Jett, like Patti Smith. They didn't mind there was no women on the radio. They did it anyway, and I just hope young girls can feel that sense of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. Something that's very important to me is kind of small venues around London. A lot of places seem to be closing, but I am noticing there's a lot of female singers, a lot more women kind of forming bands, and a lot more girl bands that are coming along.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few that I know off the top of my head, like Yonica and Antaros. In America, there's a ton of it. The indie scene's thriving right now, completely on this female revolution of guitar music, which is amazing. But like you said, I wish the limelight, I wish the next big buzzy thing was that. I'd love to go to the gig. The small venues closing down is really sad, and I don't understand why live music is not thriving in the UK as much at this point. It's really sad to see some of them.
What do you think needs to be done to kind of bring it all back?
I think, usually it's local. I think it's local simulation of music. When like the Arctic Monkeys are for the North, or stuff like that. I think Manchester's thriving right now, certainly based on my audience and ticket sales, etc. And so it's probably going to be something like that, a new wave somewhere that will pump all the energy back into a place.
Definitely. I feel that it's a shame that a lot of these places are kind of closing, because I've experienced a lot of bands through those kind of things, and it's a shame that people are kind of missing out. Do you know what I mean?
London's obviously an example. It's being gentrified. Things get more pricey. You can't afford it. Like that. If you're 100 cap room, 200 cap room, you're not going to make enough night to pay the rent. Like, that's the saddest thing. Whereas I just hope more rural areas, the north, can keep that thriving thing that they've always had. You hear some stories about, they're all the stories about the 80s, 90s, from the north, and it's just fantastic music.
Yes.
So
those periods make you wish that you were kind of in a different generation.
Always.
I would have loved to have seen Oasis back in the day.
Very
cool,
true,
nice
very
one.
true.
One more question is, I just wanted to ask. I'm intrigued about your style, your look,
or lack of.
the
Yeah.
the jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Where did that come? It's fantastic.
Yeah, the jumpsuit was kind of a way, I call it like power dressing. So I wear skirts when I first played. I was like 14, and it was cool. I just never felt any identity with what I was wearing. And a jumpsuit for me was a way of just feeling comfortable. I don't have to tuck anything in. I just roll it up in my suitcase. So it just became this thing that I really love to wear and feel safe wearing, feel happy wearing, feel confident wearing, and yeah.
Would you say it's something of an armour?
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't matter what situation, and when you wear something you feel good in, just kind of, you're fine. You know what I mean? So I've never really associated with clothes or fashion or anything like that, but I'm learning. In a way. Yeah.
Jade Burr, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man. Cheers.